I do feel like there's an urgency upon me. There is an urgency to get right because the bridegroom is coming. Yahushua HaMashiach is coming. But there's something that's going to be taking place before then. There's a lot of prophecy in between the Messiah coming and now that hasn't been fulfilled yet, and that is going to be fulfilled. The second Exodus is coming. Whether people realize it or not, it's coming. It is a prophecy that has not been fulfilled yet. Yesterday, my mom came to pick me up and took me to the store. She actually offered, this is the second time in a row that my mother offered to take me to the store. And I really enjoy the time that we spend together while we're doing it. It's much needed time that I was missing and that I was craving, I wanted time with my mother because I never really had a good relationship with my mom. When I grew up, I was very stubborn. I was very disobedient. I was rebellious. I was very difficult to handle and control. I've always had a strong will, a strong personality. And I was always a fighter. I was always very strong-minded, and I was very difficult to tame and or control. And so my mom had a hard time with me. I hate how I put her through so much, but I haven't had a good relationship with her because she had to leave work all the time to come to my school because I done something. I had to drop everything she doing to come and get me from somewhere because I had gotten myself into some BS. I have a certification I'm supposed to be doing. I'm not supposed to be sucking on straws, but yet I'm sucking on a cigarette because I don't want to say that I'm stressed out, but in reality, I got so much on my shoulders right now. I'm going through so much, and all within trying to change my life and my lifestyle, and everything is I'm at a crossroads or something, with all kinds of stumbling blocks in every single direction. But I really want to make it not successful by this world standards, but successful by the Most High standards. What He created me to be in this earth, in this world, wherever He put me, that's what I want to fulfill in my life. Yahusha is coming soon, but there's things that's got to take place first. The second Exodus will take place first. We'll be in our land. We'll be at rest. We'll be at peace. The Father will raise up shepherds to feed His flock. Those that have received the Spirit of truth, the Ruach, that Yahushua HaMashiach left on the earth before He left. And He said, it is expedient that I go away. For if I go not away, I cannot send the Comforter unto you, which is the Spirit of truth, which is the Ruach, which is the Holy Spirit, that we all have within us. But those who have the ears to hear, let them hear. My sheep hear my voice and they follow. They will not hear the voice of another. He put his word in my heart. And I crave his word. I crave the love of the Most High. And I crave to please him and to honor him, to respect the earth and the creation that he created for me, for all of us. But we're so ungrateful. We're so unthankful. We're so abusive. We're so abrasive. We're so uncaring. Don't care about the mutilated body parts that we're chewing on. The animal that lost its life before he had his body hacked into pieces. He was a flesh and blood body just like we are. Had a central nervous system just like we do. Felt every single bit of that trauma, that torture, that pain that was inflicted upon him whilst in the slaughterhouses with these heathens that lack mercy, that lack any human decency. If you just heard the screams of the animals, I don't think that you'll be able to eat chicken legs, chicken wings. These are body parts of a chicken that had eyes, that had a brain, that had a central nervous system, that had characteristics and qualities that the Father instilled into it. Had motherly instincts, fatherly instincts, wanted to care for their young, but their young are brutally ripped away from and sent through shredders so that you can have chicken nuggets. We've become beyond brutal. We've become the brute beast nation that have enslaved us. And we don't even see it. And I'm speaking primarily to my people. The so-called Negro, the so-called black African American. We have become exactly like our oppressors. Cold heart, to where you don't care whether the old or the young, they can get it. We live in a very selfish society. It's all about me, 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 me. Selfie, selfie, selfie. And I take them too. But not to post. Primarily, I'm taking them to notice my progress or to try to track my progress of how I look. As far as weight loss. Rich in the word of the Most High, as He has put it deep inside of me, deep inside of my spirit. And it was He that woke me up. As I was explaining to my mom, there was a passage that wasn't included in the modern day King James so-called Holy Bible. They took it out It was originally in the King James 1611 version, 1600s, before they started changing things to try to hide things, to try to suppress information. Is a book, Baruch, and it talks about how the Most High is going to raise up his people and bring back to their remembrance of who they are. Because it does declare in the KJV that he put us to sleep. It does declare that he caused us to go into a slumber. It does declare that his people are dumber than an ox and a jackass. Because an ox and a jackass know its owner and its master's crib. But Israel don't know. They don't even consider it. Because they're the so-called niggas. The Negroes. The nobodies. The ones that the cops are shooting down dead in the street like dogs. And then holding themselves not guilty. That's declared in the so-called Holy Bible as well. But why did they take out the verse in Baruch? Why did they take out Baruch and the whole Apocrypha? Why did they take it out? Because it does declare in there prophecy that's happening now. But people don't realize it. People don't realize that there's literally prophecy that's happened from about 2012 all the way up to now. How he has woken up his people. The news has covered it. But guess who they went to? The Pharisees and the Sadducees. They went to the synagogue of Satan. Puppets. Because they ain't the original. Nah, they copying off of Talmudian things that they learned from the oppressors who enslaved us and deceived the whole world. The synagogue of Satan. They're practicing the same thing. They're wearing the same symbols. The 6-pointed star. Idolizing that. Dressing up in freaking wizard costumes. Making themselves look all priestly. Yeah, we're the royal priesthood, but the true royal priesthood on this earth right now are the lowly and the meek, not the all proud and arrogant on the corner, screaming out blasphemies and profanities at all the nations. That's not of the Most High. That's of Satan. Clearly, they're glorifying themselves. They say they're giving glory to the Most High. But who they giving glory to is Satan. Because it's Satan that manipulated them and made them want to do all of that. Want to look all, they think they look spectacular. All shiny. And out here looking like freaking Mortal Kombat characters. The synagogue of Satan has deceived the whole world. Including these so-called black Hebrew Israelites. That scripture in Baruch, though, it talks about him waking up his people and calling to their remembrance of who they are. And I'm about to go get it for you. Just a moment. Alright, so I got it here, but give me just a moment. Open a new tab. Baruch 2:30. For I knew they would not hear me, because it is a stiff-necked people, but in the land of their captivities they shall remember themselves, and shall know that I am the Lord their God. For I will give them an heart and ears to hear, and they shall praise me in the land of their captivity, and think upon my name, and return from their stiff neck and from their wicked deeds. For they shall remember the way of their fathers, which sinned before the Most High. And I will bring them again unto the land which I promised with an oath unto their fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And they shall be lords of it, and will increase them, and they shall not be diminished. And I will make an everlasting covenant with them to be their power, and they shall be my people. And I will no more drive my people Israel, my people of Israel, up out of the land that I have given them. That hasn't happened yet. Them people over in that created modern state of Israel is not this prophecy. That's the prophecy that the Gentiles shall be trotting down the land. Even though that land over there, that created state of Israel over there, is not the land. Is layers of truth, layers in depth to get to the nitty gritty. And I'm not even at the nitty gritty. I don't know all there is to know. But I do know that this has not happened yet. Because he said, I will make an everlasting covenant with them to be their almighty power, and they shall be my people. And I will no more drive my people of Israel out of the land that I had given them. Are his people in their land? No, they're not. They're still scattered to the four corners of the earth. So let me go back over here, and let's go to Jeremiah 30:33. Just a moment. Okay, hold on. Wait. Okay, hold on. People tripping out of my apartment complex again. Alright, so Jeremiah chapter 30. Let's get it. The word came to Jeremiah from the Most High, saying, Thus speaketh the Most High, power of Israel, saying, Write thee all the words that I have spoken unto thee in a book. For lo, the days come, saith the Most High, that I will bring again the captivity of my people Israel and Judah, saith the Most High, and I will cause them to return to the land that I gave to their fathers, and they shall possess it. And these are the words that the Most High spake concerning Israel and concerning Judah. For thus saith the Most High, We have heard a voice of trembling, of fear, and not of peace. Ask ye now, and see whether a man doth travail with child. Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins, as a woman in travail, and all faces are turned into paleness. And are all faces turned into paleness? Is this happening right now? Alas, for the day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, for he shall be saved out of it. Jacob's trouble started a long time ago. For those that don't know, Jacob's trouble started in 70 AD when Jerusalem was surrounded by Rome, by the Roman armies. Jacob's trouble has been going on for a long time. And they're trying to continue it, but they're not going to. But yeah, it is going to get a lot worse before it gets better. For it shall come to pass in that day, saith the Most High of Hosts, that I will break his yoke from off thy neck, and I will burst thy bonds, and strangers shall no more serve themselves of him. See, we ain't no longer in slavery, but see, they are still yet in the prison industry. This says, strangers shall no more serve themselves of him. That includes the prison industry. So the Father is going to break these bonds off our people. We're number one incarcerated. But they shall serve the Most High their power, and David their king, whom I will raise up unto them. Therefore fear thou not, O my servant Jacob, saith the Most High, neither be dismayed, O Yasharel, Israel. For lo, I will save them from afar, and thy seed from the land of their captivity. And Jacob shall return, and shall be at rest, and be quiet, and none shall make him afraid. For I am with thee, says the Most High, to save thee, though I make a full end of all nations, whether I have scattered thee, yet I will not make a full end of thee. I will correct thee in measure, and I will not leave thee altogether unpunished. For thus saith the Most High, thy bruise is incurable, and thy wound is grievous. There is none to plead thy case, that thou mayest bound up. Thou hast no healing medicines. All thy lovers have forgotten thee. They seek thee not. For I have wounded thee with the wound of an enemy, with the chastisement of a cruel one, for the multitude of thine iniquity, because thy sins were increased. Why criest thou for thine affliction? Thy sorrow is incurable for the multitude of thine iniquity. Because thy sins were increased, I have done these things unto thee. Therefore all they that devour thee shall be devoured. See, our enemies that have been devouring us, they're going to be devoured in return. And all thine adversaries, every one of them, shall go into captivity. And they that spoil thee shall be a spoil. And they that prey upon thee, I will give for a prey. For I will restore health unto thee, and I will heal thee of thy wounds, saith the Most High. Because they call thee an outcast, saying, This is Zion, whom no man seeketh after. Thus saith the Most High, Behold, I will bring again the captivity of Jacob's tents. I will bring again the captivity of Jacob's tents. We have to pay attention to when it says again, because it lets us know that these things have been repeated. Israel went into captivity time and time and time and time and time again. But it doesn't tell us why we kept going into captivity. Christianity only wants to focus on idols. They don't want to focus on what the idol was that they were worshiping. It wasn't just about the idols. It wasn't just about the idols and them worshiping the gods. It wasn't just about them sacrificing to the gods. It was what they were sacrificing and why they were want to sacrifice them. Because they lusted after the flesh and the blood of these innocent creatures that were upon the earth, that the Father put upon the earth to bring joy upon the earth. But they have been going through horrendous torture, trauma, pain, agony. The whole earth is travailing in agony and pain together until now. All of this is tying into that. All of this ties into that. They took it out of the so-called King James Holy Bible. They took it out of the Holy Bible, the so-called canonized Bible. They took it out. It ain't in there. They don't tell the whole story about how when Moses went to go get the children of Israel up out of Egypt, he noticed that there was a wicked device that had gripped the children of Israel, that they learned the wicked device while they were captive in Egypt, while they were incubating in Egypt after Joseph and all the patriarchs died. And the new Pharaoh came along, didn't know who Joseph and all the patriarchs were. He was a wicked Pharaoh. And he enslaved Israelites, and he instituted laws, and he instituted mandates, and all these things and all these traditions. The Israelites learned these things while they were captive in Egypt. They're not going to put the whole story together for you to figure out how to get up out of your captivity, because as long as we stay diminished, they stay on top. That's what this is about. The Gentiles, those that are ruling this earth right now, they want to keep their foot on the neck of Zion. But the word of the Most High says he's going to raise up his people, and he's going to restore health unto thee and heal thee of thy wounds, saith the Most High. Because they called me an outcast, saying, this is Zion whom no man seeketh after. Thus saith the Most High, behold, I will bring again the captivity of Jacob's tents. Behold, I will bring again the captivity of Jacob's tents, and have mercy on his dwelling places. And the city shall be builded upon her own heap, and a palace shall remain after the manner thereof. And out of them shall proceed thanksgiving, and the voice of them that make merry. And I will multiply them, and they shall not be few. I will also glorify them, and they shall not be small. Their children also shall be as aforetime, and their congregation shall be established before me. I will punish all that oppress them, and their nobles shall be of themselves, and their governor shall proceed from the midst of them. And I will cause him to draw near, and he shall approach unto me. For he is this that engaged his heart to approach unto me. Let me read that again. And their nobles shall be of themselves, and their governor shall proceed from the midst of them. And I will cause him to draw near, and he shall approach unto me. For who is this that engaged his heart to approach unto me, saith the Most High? And ye shall be my people, and I will be your almighty power. Behold the whirlwind, that is a tornado. Behold the whirlwind of the Most High goeth forth with fury, a continuing whirlwind, a continuing tornado. It shall fall with pain upon the head of the wicked. The fierce anger of the Most High shall not return until he have done it, and until he have performed the intents of his heart. In the latter days ye shall consider it. Next chapter. Chapter 31. At the same time, says the Most High, I will be the power of all the families of Israel, and they shall be my people. Thus saith the Most High, the people which were left of the sword found grace in the wilderness, even Israel, when I went to cause him to rest. The Most High hath appeared of old unto me, saying, yea,
I have loved thee with an everlasting love. Therefore with loving kindness have I drawn thee. And that's exactly how he drawn me. That's exactly how he drew me. He let me know that he was there throughout all the times in my life, in my ignorance, as I was doing stupid stuff. Stupid stuff. He was there protecting me. Brought it all back to my remembrance as it flashed before my eyes. And I seen all the instances of my life on how it could have went bad or worse. He was there. Again, I will build thee, and thou shalt be built, O Virgin of Israel. Thou shalt again be adorned with thy tabrets, and shall go forth in the dances of them that make merry. Thou shalt yet plant vines upon the mountains of Samaria. The planter shall plant, and shall eat them as common things. For there shall be a day that the watchmen upon the mount of Ephraim shall cry, Arise ye, and let us go up to Zion unto the Most High our power. For thus saith the Most High, Sing with gladness for Jacob, and shout among the chief of the nations. Publish ye, praise ye, and say, O Yahuwah, save thy people, the remnant of Israel. Behold, I will bring them forth. Behold, I will bring them from the north country, and gather them from the coasts of the earth, and with them the blind and the lame, and the woman with child, and her that travaileth with child together. A great company shall return thither. They shall come with weeping and with all supplications. I will lead them. I will cause them to walk by the rivers of water in a straight way, wherein they shall not stumble. For I am a father to Israel, and Ephraim is my firstborn. Hear the word of the Most High, O ye nations, and declare it in the isles afar off, and say, He that scattered Israel will gather him, and keep him as a shepherd doth his flock. For the Most High hath redeemed Jacob, and ransomed him from the hand of him that was stronger than he. We had no might in our hands, as they ripped our babies from our arms, and gave our babies to another people. You shall beget sons and daughters, but shall not be able to enjoy them, for they shall go into captivity. They shall be given unto another people. We had no might in our hand, as wives were raped in front of their husbands. We had no might in our hands, as husbands were raped in front of their families, buck broken. We had no might in our hands to stop these heathens from stealing our babies and feeding them to alligators. These were atrocities that happened to the children of Israel. Therefore they shall come and sing in the height of Zion, and shall flow together with the goodness of the Most High, for wheat, and for wine, and for oil, and for the young of the flock, and for the herd, and for their souls shall be as a watered garden, and they shall not sorrow any more at all. Then shall the virgin rejoice and dance, both young men and old together, for I will turn their mourning into joy, and I will comfort them and make them rejoice from their sorrow. And I will satiate the soul of the priests with fatness, and my people shall be satisfied with my goodness, saith the Most High. Thus saith the Most High, a voice was heard in Ramah, lamentation and bitter weeping. Rahel, weeping for her children, refused to be comforted for her children because they were not. Thus says the Most High, refrain thy voice from weeping, and thine eyes from tears, for thy work shall be rewarded. Let me read that again. Thus saith the Most High, refrain thy voice from weeping, and thine eyes from tears, for thy work shall be rewarded, says the Most High. And they shall come again from the land of the enemy, And there is hope in thine end, says the Most High, that thy children shall come again to their own border. I have surely heard Ephraim bemoaning himself thus, Thou hast chastised me, and I was chastised as a bullock unaccustomed to the yoke. Turn thou me, and I shall be turned, for thou art the Most High, my power. Surely after that I was turned, I repented, and after that I was instructed. I smote upon my thigh, and I was ashamed, yea, even confounded, because I did not bear the reproach of my youth. Is Ephraim my dear son? Is he a pleasant child? For since I spake against him, I do earnestly remember him still. Therefore my bowels are troubled for him. I will surely have mercy upon him, saith the Most High. Set thee up waymarks, make thee high heaps. Set thine heart toward the highway, even the way which thou wentest. Turn again, O Virgin of Israel, turn again to thy cities. How long wilt thou go about, O thou backsliding daughter? For the Lord hath created a new thing in the earth. A woman shall compass a man. There's levels to this truth. There's deepness and depthness to this truth. There's layers. There's layers to this truth. A woman shall compass man. They're changing things in society to where the woman is on top now. They're casting women in lead roles. They're putting women superheroes and women that's beating the crap out of men. Like, I see it in TV shows and in movies. They've totally turned the tables to where it's no longer the men that are the masculine ones. Now it's the women that are masculine. They're playing the masculine role, and the men are taking the back seat and playing the feminine role. There's layers to this truth. A woman shall compass a man. How long wilt thou go about, O thou backsliding daughter? For the Most High hath created a new thing in the earth. A woman shall compass a man. Thus saith the Most High of hosts, the power of Israel. As yet they shall use this speech in the land of Judah and in the cities thereof. When I shall bring again their captivity. The Most High bless thee, O habitation of justice and mountain of holiness. And there shall dwell in Judah itself, and in all the cities thereof together, husbandmen, and they that go forth with flocks. And they're not going to be slaughtering these flocks, because we will know that it is a great transgression against the Father. This is the last captivity that we're in right now. We are still in captivity. My people, hear the words that are coming out of my mouth right now. We are still in captivity. We may not have yokes of iron on our necks. We may not be literally enslaved in cotton fields, but we are still in captivity. We are still we are still under our oppressors. They still have possession of us. We are still up under their government. We are still subservient to their laws and all these things that they have set up to control the whole, our reality. They control our reality. Except for those that are dependent upon the Most High, they don't control my reality, but they're controlling the reality of the masses. We are still in captivity. The Father is going to deliver us from this captivity, and He's going to set us in our land, and we're going to be at rest. There shall dwell in Judah itself, and in all the cities thereof together, husbandmen, and they that go forth with flocks. For I have satiated the weary soul, and I have replenished every sorrowful soul. Upon this I awakened, and behold, and my sleep was sweet unto me. Behold, the days come, saith the Most High, that I will sow the house of Israel and the house of Judah with the seed of man and with the seed of beast. And it shall come to pass that like as I have watched over them to pluck up and to break down and to throw down and to destroy and to afflict, so I will watch over them to build and to plant, saith the Most High. In those days they shall no more say, the fathers have eaten a sour grape, and the children's teeth are set on edge. And everyone shall die for his own iniquity. Every man that eateth the sour grape, his teeth shall be set on an edge. Behold, the days come, saith the Most High, that I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and the house of Judah, not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in a day that I took them by the hand to bring them out of the land of Egypt, which my covenant they break, although I was an husband unto them, saith the Most High. But this shall be the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days, saith the Most High, and I will put my law in their inward parts, and write it in their hearts, and I will be their almighty power, and they shall be my people. Why would he go through the trouble of writing his law in our hearts if there is no law that we must keep? If Jesus came to abolish the law, why would he come to abolish the law that was placed in our heart? Wouldn't that coincide with what he said, that it is expedient that I go away? For if I go not away, I will not be able to send a comforter unto you. Wouldn't that comforter, wouldn't that spirit of truth, that ruach, wouldn't that coincide with the law of the Most High that he said he will write in our hearts and put in our inward parts? That law ain't never gonna die. That law we must keep. That's the law, to respect his creation, to love him, love his creation. Love is the biggest and most powerful law of all. That is the law of the Most High. Love the Most High with all your heart, all your mind, all of your soul. If you love the Most High with all of your heart, all of your mind, and all of your soul, you would appreciate the earth that he created for us. We would appreciate the creation. We would appreciate the animals that were here, put here to bring joy into our lives and give joy to the Most High, not to be brutally slaughtered so that they can wind up on our plates so that we can eat their dead flesh and blood and be filled with rottenness and maggots and all kinds of parasitical abominations. Satan has deceived the whole world. The Father put his law in our heart, in our mind, in our inward parts. He put his law in us. We know that it is wrong to take the life of any innocent creature, but yet we think it's okay for these animals to be living a life that they're living in these slaughterhouses, being tortured and slaughtered and mutilated by the billions. Also, we can eat steak and chicken legs and chicken wings and lamb for Passover and call ourselves blessing it. We call ourselves praying over it, asking the Most High to bless it, asking the Most High to protect us from any diseases and infections. Why do you think he's really protecting us from diseases and infections? Why are we the number one that's dying from heart disease? Why are we the number one that's dying from diabetes? Why are we the number one in all kinds of illnesses? Why are our people the ones that's being punished the most when it comes to our diet? But this shall be the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days, saith the Most High. I will put my law in their inward parts and write it on their hearts, and I will be their almighty power, and they shall be my people, and they shall teach no more every man his neighbor and every man his brother, saying, Know the Most High, for they all shall know me, from the least of them unto the greatest of them, saith the Most High. For I will forgive their iniquity, and I will remember their sin no more. Thus said the Most High, which giveth the sun for a light by day, and the ordinances of the moon and of the stars for a light by night, which divideth the sea when the waves thereof roar. The Most High of hosts is his name. If those ordinances depart from me, if those ordinances depart from before me, saith the Most High, then the seed of Israel shall also cease from being a nation before me forever. So let me read that again. Thus saith the Most High, which giveth the sun for a light by day. Okay, let me break this down a little bit for those that are not grasping the words that are coming out of my mouth and the words that are within this scripture right here that says, Thus saith the Most High, that giveth the sun for a light by day. Don't you think that if he gave the sun for a light by day, that it will be localized to our earth, to our environment? Why would he put it millions of miles away? Wouldn't it be a light that was created for the earth? Then why is it that NASA says that we're going around the sun and that the earth is a mere speck in a vast universe? Because according to this, the sun and the moon and the stars, these ordinances were given to them to govern our reality, to govern light upon the earth, because the earth was created for us. The sun, the moon, and the stars were created for the earth. So how are we a mere speck in a vast universe? How are we irrelevant? How is it that the sun is the most important? That everything is spinning around the sun? And the sun is 92 point something million miles away. Really? Alright, so let's get back on point now that I broke that down, and I hope that you are able to grasp what I'm saying to you. NASA is a liar. These people that are ruling this world right now are liars. Thy enemy shall be known as liars unto thee. Thus saith the Most High, which giveth the sun for a light by day, and the ordinances of the moon and of the stars for a light by night, which divideth the sea, and the waves thereof roar. The Most High of hosts is his name. If those ordinances depart from before me, saith the Most High, then the seed of Israel shall also cease from being a nation before me forever. But we're still here. Oh yeah, we're still here. We don't die, baby. We multiply. Thus saith the Most High, if heaven above can be measured, and the foundations of the earth be searched out beneath, have they been able to measure the heights of the heavens and search out beneath? I will also cast off all the seed of Israel. I will also cast off all the seed of Israel for all that they have done, saith the Most High. Obviously, they have not been able to measure the heights of the heavens. They haven't been able to measure the heaven above. How can they measure the heaven above? They can't get past the firmament, for one. That's the first heaven. The first heaven is that firmament that they can't get past. It's a molten glass dome. They can't get outside of that. They've been trying. Shooting nukes up there. They called it Project Fishbowl. For those that are interested, you want to look these things up? Look up Richard E. Byrd. Richard E. Byrd. He went on expeditions to the Antarctica. There was the expedition of Operation High Jump. This is where they discovered the ice wall. This is where they discovered that the waters are contained, because all water has to be contained. Well, don't the scripture tells us that he encompassed with bounds? Hold on, let me take a little pause break and let me go get that scripture. Alright, so give me just a moment. I believe this is going to be Job 26:10. Give me just a moment, and I'm going to bring it right up. Job 26:10. He hath compassed the waters with bounds until the day and night come to an end. There you go. Water has to be contained. Water don't just stick to the outside of a giant globe or ball or pear shape. Water can't stick to the outside of anything with some magical force called gravity. If they cannot duplicate that, if they can't replicate that on a miniature scale, that's not real science. Real science is observable. Real science is testable and repeatable. So since they cannot test nor repeat, and we cannot observe them making water stick to the outside of a globe, of a ball, of any kind of shape, we cannot observe liquid sticking and or warping or wrapping around something and just staying stuck there with some magical force called gravity. We cannot observe them doing that. So why do we believe in gravity? Why do we believe that we live on some giant spinning ball hurling through an ever-expanding universe? Make that make sense to me when the scripture tells us in Job 26 verse 10 that he hath encompassed the waters with bounds until the day and night come to an end. Has the day and night come to an end? We still have day and night. The last time I checked, I just woke up today. And I will go to sleep tonight. The waters have been compassed with bounds. There is an ice wall that Richard E. Byrd had to get over. See, this is the South Pole. It's not a pole. It's the Antarctica. Antarctica is the so-called proverbial South Pole. And it surrounds us. If you head dead north and you keep going north, you're going to end up south. If you go east to west, it's continuous. It's continuous. East to west, west to east is continuous. Take a compass, for example, how a compass works. You get east and west, north and south. But north is the center point. If you pass that center point, you're going to end up going east or west. If you go in a circle, if you go out from north and you end up in the east-west, you can choose to go left or right. But if you keep going straight, you going to end up south. Okay, and eventually it's going to come to a bound, to a boundary, to an ice wall. There ain't no falling off the edge. The waters have been encompassed with bounds. So there's like a 200 some odd foot or higher ice wall that's surrounding us. Well, they did Operation High Jump to get over that wall. There's pictures of it. There's video footage of it. Richard E. Byrd has done interviews, and he talks about a land on the other side that's as big as the United States of America. How come most people don't know that? But okay, I went off track enough, alright? I went off track enough. Thus saith the Most High, if heaven above can be measured, and the foundations of the earth searched out beneath, I will cast off all the seed of Israel for all they have done, saith the Most High. Because he says, thus saith the Most High, if the heaven above can be measured, they ain't measured the heaven above. Because after Operation High Jump, they did Operation Deep Freeze. See, they wanted to see how far this plateau of ice went. And it is said that Richard E. Byrd found the firmament. He ran into the firmament, and that there were his planes started exploding upon impacting these invisible shields. I don't know altogether how true that is, but what is true is the fact that they did do Operation High Jump to get over that ice wall, and they did do Operation Deep Freeze to try to see how far that plateau stretched. Richard E. Byrd did a lot of expeditions, and then they did, after he died mysteriously after finding the firmament, supposedly, they did Operation Dominic, which Dominic, if you break down the etymology of that word, it means dominion of the Lord. Dominion of the Lord. Dominic, dominion of the Lord. And then they had a little side project that they called Operation Fishbowl. So, dominion of the Lord, Operation Fishbowl. They wanted to try to see how they could get out of here. They wanted to see how they can burst open that firmament. So they started shooting nukes up into the sky, trying to test to see how far the firmament is from the earth, how high it is up there. And they actually had it in a very old encyclopedia, but they took it out. See, they hide a lot of information. See, they started hiding information once the heathens took over, because the heathens have not always been in control of this earth. The heathens, this is something new. They've only been in control for the past 500 years or so. They're fairly new on the earth. They are not the original to the earth. They're the freaking hybrids and whatnot. But I'm not going to get all off into that. I'm not saying all Gentiles are hybrids. The synagogue of Satan, those that call themselves Jews and are not, but do lie. The so-called elite, the so-called royalty upon the earth, the so-called Queen of England. These people have serpent seed DNA. Hybrids. Alien abductions and all of that's back engineered chariots of the Most High with the help of demons and fallen angels. Let's get back to the task at hand here. So, thus saith the Most High, if heaven above can be measured, which we know it cannot. If thus saith the Most High, if the heaven above can be measured, and we know that it cannot, and the foundations of the earth searched out beneath, I will cast off all the seed of Israel for all they have done, saith the Most High. Behold, the days come, saith the Most High, that the city shall be built to the Most High, and from the tower of Hananel unto the gate of the corner. Kind of messed that up. Behold, the days come, said the Most High, that the city shall be built to the Most High from the tower of Hananel unto the gate of the corner. And the measuring line shall go forth against it upon the hill of Gareb, and shall compass about to Goath, and the whole valley of the dead bodies, and of the ashes, and all the fields, unto the brook of Kidron, unto the corner of the horse gate toward the east, shall be the holy unto the Most High. It shall not be plucked up, nor thrown down any more, forever. This hasn't happened yet. Alright, next chapter. Chapter 32. Just a moment. And the word of the Most High came to Jeremiah. The word that came to Jeremiah from the Most High in the 10th year of Zedekiah, king of Judah, which was the 18th year of Nebuchadnezzar. For then the king of Babylon's army besieged Jerusalem. Hold on, let me read this because I don't think this is relevant for now. Hold on. Alright, hold on. There's a part of this I need to read. Okay, hold on. Alright, so this right here is relevant. It's going to be chapter 32, verse 15. And this is Jeremiah. Jeremiah chapter 32, verse 15. For thus saith the Most High of hosts, the power of Israel, houses and fields and vineyards shall be possessed again in this land. Now, when I had delivered the evidence of the purchase unto Baruch, the son of Neriah, I prayed unto the Most High, saying, the Most High power, behold, thou hast made the heaven and the earth by thy great power and stretched out arm, and there is nothing too hard for thee. Thou showest his loving kindness unto thousands, and recompassest the iniquity of the fathers unto the bosom of their children after them. The great and mighty power, the Most High of hosts is his name, great in counsel and mighty in work. For thine eyes are open upon all the ways of the sons of men, to give every one according to his ways and according to the fruit of his doing, which hath set signs and wonders in the land of Egypt, even unto this day, and in Israel and among other men, and hath made thee a name as at this day, and has brought forth thy people Israel out of the land of Egypt with signs and with wonders, and with a strong hand, and with a stretched out arm, and with great terror, and have given them this land which thou didst swear to their fathers to give them, a land flowing with milk and honey. And they came in and possessed it, and they obeyed not the voice, neither walked in thy law. They have done nothing of all that thou commandest them to do. Therefore thou hast caused all this evil to come upon them. Behold the mounts, they that come into the city to take it, and the city is given unto the hand of the Chaldeans, that fight against it because of the sword, and of the famine, and of the pestilence, and what thou hast spoken is to come to pass, and behold, thou seest it. See, because it happened in the past, but again, we're still in the land of our captivity, and we are going to again possess the land that the Father has gave to our forefathers. He's going to come through and return us to that land again. It hasn't happened yet. So that's what people need to understand as we read these things. I understand that it's saying, in the context of what it's saying, it's relevant to that time, some of these verses. But other verses that I point out is relevant for now as well, because it is going to happen again. That's why it keeps saying again, again, again. Okay? I don't like these pagan terms, but I'm read it exactly how it is. And thou hast said unto me, O Lord God, O Most High Power, buy thee the field for money, and take witnesses, for the city is given into the hand of the Chaldeans. Okay, so back then, our city was given into the hand of the Chaldeans, but now our city is given into the hands of these heathens. Then came the word of the Most High unto Jeremiah, saying, Behold, I am the Most High, the God of all flesh. Is there anything too hard for me? That's relevant till now. Therefore, thus says the Most High, Behold, I will give this city unto the hand of the Chaldeans, and into the hand of Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon, and he shall take it. And the Chaldeans that fight against the city shall come and set fire unto the city, and to burn it with the houses upon whose roofs they have offered incense unto Baal, and poured out drink offerings unto other gods, to provoke me to anger. For the children of Israel and the children of Judah have only done evil before me from their youth. For the children of Israel have only provoked me to anger with the work of their hands, saith the Most High. For this city has been to me as a provocation of my anger and of my fury, from the day that they built it even unto this day, that I should remove it from before my face. Because of all the evil of the children of Israel and of the children of Judah, which they have done to provoke me to anger, they, their kings, their princes, their priests, and their prophets, and the men of Judah and the inhabitants of Jerusalem. See, there was a reason why we went through Jacob's trouble, and is still going through Jacob's trouble. Our people need to understand what the transgression was. We were not respecting his creation. We was not reverencing him. We were not loving him with our whole heart. We were not loving one another with our whole heart. We were not treating our neighbors as how we would want to be treated. We were not treating the animals as how we would want to be treated. We were not treating creation the way it was designed and destined to be treated. The whole earth is in agony. The whole earth is travailing in pain together until now. Understand that the Most High is restoring his people, but they who have the ears to hear, they must hear the words that are coming from the Most High, the Spirit of truth, as it speaks. When I'm telling you, as I am nothing but a mere vessel that is used by the Almighty Power to let you know he does not desire for us to eat the flesh and blood of the innocent creatures that he put upon this earth to be a joy unto us. They are to lift our spirit spirits. They are to bring us joy. How can they do that when they're trapped in slaughterhouses, being tortured and slaughtered in brutal manners? I mean, come on, it's not rocket science. It's not hard to grasp. It is very simple. A child could understand. The animals were not created to be murdered. We were not created to even eat them. We are not designed to eat animals. It is the root cause of all sickness, all illnesses, all diseases within the body. We're eating death. We are what we eat. If we eat dead things, you die. We need to understand that it's not meat. When we go to the grocery store and we buy a pack of chicken, it's not meat. It is a dead chicken that's had its body cut up. It's a dead chicken that has been mutilated. You are eating a mutilated body part of an innocent chicken that lost its life and is no longer breathing the life, that no longer has the breath of life that the Father gave that creature when He blessed that creature and He told that creature to be fruitful and multiply. When He created the pig, when He created the lamb, when He created the bullocks, when He created all these creatures and He gave them food, He gave them habitat. Just same as He gave us food which grows from the earth. He never once gave us one another to eat, to sustain ourselves. He never gave us death and bloodshed to eat. Satan did that. And to this day is advertised everywhere we look. There's restaurants on every other freaking corner, and advertisements on billboards, huge billboards, advertisements on phones and on Facebook, and everywhere you look there's freaking ads everywhere for flesh and blood, dressing up the innocent creatures, making it look appetizing, seducing the public, seducing you to eat death and bloodshed, seducing you to kill your body by defiling it with death and bloodshed. We are not to eat that. We are a holy people. Our temples are supposed to be holy. We are not grave. We're not supposed to be using our temples for a graveyard for animal bodies. I could continue, but I think I'm just going to leave it here for now. I'm really annoyed with this blockage in my ear, but at the same time, I'm going to speak these words as they're in my heart, and that's what I feel like I need to be doing right now. And then putting this stuff on social media. I'm gonna get it together and get my video stuff going, figure out how to do this. I'm also teaching myself how to make music. I don't know how all these things is going to come together, but it is. And it's all going to be for the glory of the Most High. Because I don't seek glory. I don't seek fame for in and of myself. I choose to yield myself to the Most High. And I'm obedient to Him as much as I can be, and I strive to continue to be obedient so that I can continue to hear that small gentle voice in my spirit, so I can continue to hear the Spirit of truth and continue to grow in His wisdom as He leads and He guides me and He teaches me, because it's not the words of men that teaches me, it's the leading of His Spirit which causes me to learn what I have learned. And with that being said, I'm going to end it there. Shalom.